for today, we are honored to showcase a nutritionist who has been working in the field of school foods and nutrition for the last 15 years and has varied experience serving as a clinical dietitian in various hospitals and wellness clinics and teaching various subjects under the blanket of foods and nutrition with innovative pedagogy for the subjects of nutrition education, health promotion, food quality and safety, food systems, nutrition counseling, and food product development research. She is Dr. Radhika Hedaoo, representing India, and her session title is Edutainment Approach for Enhancing the Nutrition Curriculum Delivery in Schools. Hello, Dr. Radhika. How are you? Happy Diwali.
Thank you so much. Happy Diwali to all of you. It's an honor to be here at the Education Influence Conference, and thank you so much. I'm honored completely. Thank you.
The stage is yours, Dr. Radhika.
Yeah, thank you so much. So first of all, I'm Dr. Radhika Hedaoo, as ma'am has already introduced me, and a very happy Diwali to you all. And you all are teachers, and we all are teachers, and we are a fraternity of teachers. So I start with a shlok on Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Gurur Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Sadguruve Namaha. That means Guru is the teacher, and I'm here to share few of my research work which I've done on edutainment. So I'll quickly start sharing my slides. I hope the slide is visible. It's on slideshow.
It is visible. Thank you, Dr. Radhika.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Okay, so as I start with my presentation, first I'll be talking about why are we discussing nutrition in this global education conference, and why schools, you all are teachers, and why schools for nutrition delivery. What does evidence research indicate about the nutrition curriculum and edutainment? What is edutainment and what is its application for the health promotion? I would also be talking about some review of literature on edutainment and how it is used to enhance the nutrition education. I'll also be discussing about the study which we have done, which is on nutritainment model for nutrition education. And also one activity where we would be discussing about innovative educational matrix plan preparation. And we will also see the teaching based on various learning styles. Though I don't have to talk about that to you all are the experts in that. But how do we incorporate that for nutrition, I would be discussing. And then, of course, we will have another activity and the references, and of course, the acknowledgement would follow. So hats off to all wonderful teachers. Here I have taken a picture of Mr. Gavin and the Education Influence family. So an applause to all of you for bringing the teachers fraternity together. So why are we discussing nutrition here? If you look at the global scenario of malnutrition, I'm sure when you all are also dealing with children, there are episodes of stunting, wasting, and also at the same time, we have the double-edged sword where we have the obesity and the overnutrition as well, right? If you look at the global scenario of malnutrition, Africa and Asia, they have the maximum burden of all forms of malnutrition. When we are talking about malnutrition, it is not just undernutrition, stunting or wasting that we are talking of. It is also the overnutrition. It is also the hidden hunger. Hidden hunger is basically the micronutrient malnutrition. So we may look apparently healthy, but there are a lot of deficiencies and a lot of symptoms which go unnoticed, and they are actually leading to the chronic illnesses and also the chronic diseases such as diabetes and hypertension right from the age of adolescence and also later on. So if you look at these statistics, it is talking about in 2018, more than half of all the stunted children under 5, they lived in Asia, and more than 1/3 they lived in Africa. If you look in 2018, more than 2/3 of all wasted children, where the muscle wasting was observed, under 5, they lived in Asia, and more than 1/4 lived in Africa. If we look at 2018, again, half of the overweight children as well, they lived in Asia and as well as in Africa. So, of course, being an Asian and being an Indian, I think this is a very, very alarming situation. Now, these are some visible form of malnutrition. The earlier statistics were talking about the children, how they are affected. Now, these are the visible forms of malnutrition in adolescents. This is basically a comprehensive nutrition survey, which is talking about the prevalence of overweight as well as undernutrition in India. So as you can see, around in the age group of 15 to 19 years girls, it is around 4%, and undernutrition is 14%. Now, if you look at again, the boys between the age group of 10 to 14, it is again 5%, and undernutrition is 32%. Again, in 10 to 14 years old girls, it is 5%, and undernutrition is 23%. So undernutrition and overnutrition are still existing together. So it's like a double-edged sword for us. Now, this is the Indian scenario where I was talking about the hidden hunger or the micronutrient malnutrition. So very common deficiencies you'll be observing of vitamin D, of folate, of iron, and also of zinc and B12, which are very much prevalent. Now, prevalence of anemia by state, as you can see here, you will see that in India, none of the states are, are not having the prevalence of anemia, as you can make out here. Or it is not a public health problem. You can't see that in India. Micronutrient deficiencies are again very, very common. So 1 in 2 adolescents, that is between the age group of 10 to 19 years, they suffer from at least 2 out of the 6 deficiencies which are given over here, of iron, of folate, of vitamin B12, or vitamin A and zinc. And this is all due to the lack of diet diversity, which we do not have. When we are talking about the bomb on which helping us reach our sustainable goals. So as you can see, it's one of the sustainable development goals, and
Hi,
also
Dr.
quality
Radhika.
education is also
Sorry
there.
sorry to interrupt you. We just lost you for a moment because of the network bandwidth, and your voice kept breaking.
Okay. Shall I repeat?
Maybe a few lines. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. So I'll start with this slide itself, that I was talking about the prevalence of overnutrition and undernutrition together across the globe we are seeing, and especially I had shown the statistics of Asia and Africa. Now, when we are talking about this ticking bomb, the schools are a hub for meeting, or, they are the platform for actually schools are platform, or you can say, as you can see, they all are coming together for meeting the basic holistic nutrition, and promotion of holistic nutrition through food and nutrition education is a way by which our children, they can come out of malnutrition. Now, schools, why schools? Why the teachers, or why schools, or why the school fraternity, basically. So children, they are spending at least 5 to 6 hours along with their peers. A lot of peer learning happens. A lot of observational learning is also happening in the schools. So children, because they are spending so much of time there, definitely the schools are the best platform. Schools has the best people, the teachers. And why teachers? Because teachers are the authoritative figure. When I say authoritative figure, I don't mean somebody who's very strict or somebody has a stick in her hand. All I'm saying is somebody whom the children look up to. So they are the people whom children look up to. They listen after their parents, or in fact, more than their parents. Sometimes they listen to the teachers. Then children are also consuming at least 2 meals of their entire day in the school. Like they have the small break and they have the long break. So maybe the breakfast or maybe the mid-morning snack. Along with that, of course, the lunch they are consuming in the schools. So a lot of work can be done with schools and with the nutrition education which is given to all the school fraternity. Schools also can implement various policies, various interventions, such as healthy food cafeterias or curriculum revision, like the syllabus revision or the nutrition curriculum delivery, which I was talking of, and nutrition counseling. A lot of things together can happen in the schools. So schools are, a basic kind of a focal point where the nutrition education can happen, and we can really concentrate on the sustainable development goal of giving quality education, and along with that, meeting their health standards. Now, we also Hello. Yeah. I'm so sorry. I think
That's fine. It's just because of the low internet connection on your side, maybe.
Can is it possible that I switch off my video then?
Yes.
Or
If it's okay with you.
I think then I guess the connection would be fine. I hope my slides are visible now.
It is visible. Thank you, Dr. Radhika.
Yeah, thank you. Now, I was talking about certain research briefs which are on nutrition education promotion. So evidence suggests that foods and nutrition education, it has a lot of potential to promote positive health, to promote healthy eating behaviors and sustainable behaviors. That means that under sustainable behaviors, we are talking about promotion of eating behaviors which get established during school years. And then, of course, they are carried into adulthood. Also, according to WHO, a comprehensive foods and nutrition education has to be implemented in the curriculum policy. However, it has not been implemented. This is as per the JOFF, Jamie Oliver Food Foundation study, which has been conducted. So WHO has actually proposed an implementation of this nutrition education policy or healthy schools policy. However, across the globe, it has not really been implemented. It is there in certain countries. However, especially in the South Asian countries, we don't see that. So today, when we are delivering this nutrition education, we need to consider that it can't be superfluous. However, it has to be in the form of a colossal nutrition education, which has a lot of components. When I say a lot of components, it doesn't mean it has to be a didactic kind of a teaching which happens, or just a one-way communication happens where a teacher comes to the classroom, teaches on the board, and then leaves. However, it has to be a curriculum which involves various components where children at all levels get involved. Now, what are the elements which are actually contributing to the effective nutrition education? Now, findings suggest that when we are talking about nutrition education, we can't see nutrition only through the lens of just one aspect. We need to focus on their behaviors and practices which have been followed culturally. We have to understand what all are the factors which are affecting their behavior. We also need to see, are there any theoretical frameworks? When I say theoretical frameworks, say social cognitive theory, where you are learning more through observation. So such theoretical frameworks have to be considered. Also, this education can't be just at an individual level. It has to go on a school level, then it has to go on a policy level. So at a multi-component level, we need to give this. It can't be just one point contact. It has to be sustained. It has to be reinforced, and it should be given in sufficient duration. And it has to be given through multiple channels and strategies to convey the nutrition message successfully. So nutrition education using entertainment education, as I was talking of, or that is my topic, is basically just an aspect, you can say, where we can enhance this nutrition curriculum delivery to schools. Now, these are a few examples, like what exactly is edutainment? So when we say edutainment, it is basically a communication strategy for social and behavioral modification. And it has gained a lot of importance in the field of health and nutrition. On my left side, you must be seeing the various animated cartoons. Now, these have been taken from Chhota Bheem. Now, Chhota Bheem is now not just concentrating on entertaining, but also on giving science education, on giving education and safety and sanitation during monsoons, and is also promoting fruit and vegetable consumption. So this is an example of edutainment that we are observing even in the animated series that we have, right? So nutrition education, now we call this, because we have used this education along with the entertainment, we call it as nutritainment. And this nutritainment has to be reinforced again and again using a multi-component media approach. So EE approach can invoke multiple learning styles of the recipients, and therefore it becomes very, very interesting. So it is nowhere boring, but it has lots of components. I know it requires a lot of patience, a lot of hard work on behalf of the teachers to come out with such curriculums, but it is absolutely effective. Now, what are the goals of these edutainment when we are saying, especially for the promotion of health? So when we say promotion of health, it is promotion of health related knowledge. That means we are promoting the facts, we are talking about the factors, we are giving training, and we are talking about the behavior change techniques. When we say health related attitudes, we are talking about what are the benefits, what people foresee as a benefit, what people foresee as a barrier, what is their self-efficacy to bring out a change, what is their confidence, and what is their motivation. When we talk about the health-related behavior, again, we are not just concentrating on the diet, but we are concentrating on physical activity, stress, alcohol, drug use, sexual behavior, especially in adolescents, and also the screen time is also one added factor. When we are talking about entertainment, now how this entertainment factor gets involved with all this is through the involvement, through the fun, through the pleasantness, through the emotions, through the curiosity, and somewhere attention. Tension, when I say a healthy tension, say when we are having an interactive quiz and we are waiting for the results, it's a healthy tension that we look up to. And what all are the outcomes? So when I'm talking about edutainment, we know that you all teachers are dealing with children, and among children also we see a lot of body image issues. We see among children the rising body mass index. Their BMIs are either very high or very low. So as I was talking about the undernutrition or the overnutrition. We are talking about the diseases that we foresee in future because of their faulty lifestyle. Better health-related quality of life is also an outcome we look into. So edutainment can actually incorporate or look into all these aspects together involving the entertainment aspect. So I'm right now presenting a model which we used for nutrition education. So our aim was to develop a media mix nutrition education aid and study its impact on the nutrition knowledge and awareness of adolescents. We did not have the component of behavior change at this stage because it involves further more time and also a lot of other strategies if we want to see the behavior change. So 12 to 14 years was our age group, and mainly our objectives were to assess the nutrition knowledge and awareness of these adolescents. We also developed various edutainment aids, and we also saw what was the preference of these edutainment aids for children. Then we imparted these nutrition education using various edutainment aids, and we studied the impact of these education aids on their nutrition knowledge. Now, this is some of the review of literature. I'm sure anybody who's interested into research, or anyone who is right now also thinking about or must be actually doing or implementing these in their schools or in their classrooms. Games have been found to be a very successful edutainment tool because children show a very good learning compatibility with games. Then mobile games are also found to be very, very useful, and they are also found to be very, very acceptable because of the ease of playing. So even children can play that. Now, this is one study where I was involved along with my guide, and we developed a multimedia animation tool with the help of an animation expert. And we found animation was found to be a very successful tool for nutrition education. And then, of course, the print and the electronic media, where the edutainment material in the form of books or in the form of booklets can be circulated, was also found to be useful. However, in this case, a behavior change was also observed in this study. There was another study done by Dr. Gavara Varapu, where he has used the lecture or the pictorial booklets, posters, and animation. And he found that entertainment education was most preferred over the conventional aids. So when we say conventional aids, they are the simple books or they are the print media that we are using, but they found the animation to be very much useful. Another study where the audio-visual aids were used, they found that there was a very good improvement in the consumption of the diverse food groups. Then there was one study by Shah et al. And they have used a lecture series, they have used booklets, they have used masks, they have used cards, cartoons, debates, and cooking competitions as well. And they found a very good impact in the knowledge improvement and also a behavior of the urban Asian Indian school children. Now, this was a huge sample size, as you can see here, of around 2329, which is a good enough sample size. So what we did in our study was, of course, we took approvals from the principal, from our informed consent from the parents, from the adolescents, and we did this in a co-ed school. And randomly, the children we had selected between the age group of 12 to 14 years from the classrooms. And our sample size was 110. Out of that, 10 students dropped. Then we took the consents and we used a pre and a post design. That means we conducted their pre-test of their nutrition knowledge. We imparted the intervention to them, and then we conducted the post-test. Now, we included the students who were willing to participate, and the students with any specific health problems we excluded because naturally their interest into this project would have not been great. And of course, their eating habits and their eating habits and their sleep or lifestyle would have been different. So we included a range of various nutrition knowledge questionnaires. We reviewed, first of all, various which are available, and we developed a 25 question structured questionnaire. Now, this was based on the CBSE, Central Board of Secondary Education Help Manual we used, and we developed this, and we gave a scoring for each question. And this questionnaire was again reviewed for the content validity. So for content validation, we used the teachers from the field of education, we had the statistician, we had a social science expert, and we also had a nutrition expert. Now, also these questions were rated for a preference for nutrition education aids, which we were planning to use based on our review of literature. And in a multiple choice format, we asked them, and this questionnaire was pre-tested on 10 adolescents. Now, then we developed this module, and in this module, we included various topics such as the food groups, the Indian food pyramid, the food plate, the food labeling, because that is again, the knowledge regarding that is very poor, healthy eating habits, physical activity, the diet-related deficiency diseases, topics related with recommended duration, such as the sleep, the screen time, and the stress management. And all for this module, the content validation was done by the experts. Now we used a framework so as to decide the module development. So the animation, why did we use that? Because animation, as you know, it is based on the construct of social cognitive theory, that you imitate someone or you observe someone and then you follow them. So main characteristics of this is that it gives some amazing experiences, it inspires people, and also it increases the self-efficacy. Then we also used an interactive quiz. Now in this was again based on the social cognitive theory by Bandura, and also a shared learning theory, which is given by Rotman. Now, it talks about creating an environment. Now, whenever we are, even when we are playing some kind of a quiz, it is more of a pure experience. We also acknowledge the participant or we reward the participant, we applaud the participant, and we use whatever resources we have in hand. So I'll again come to the Kaun Banega Crorepati or the KBC quiz, which is by Amitabh Bachchan, which is so much popular. So we use that quiz format and we develop this interactive quiz. It has a multidisciplinary approach basically. So that is the reason we used this interactive quiz as well. Apart from that, how can a nutrition topic be taught without food, right? Or without experiencing food? So based on the experiential learning model, recipe demonstrations were done, and the children were also involved in the cooking clubs. Why recipe demonstration or why experiential learning model was used? Because in this, you are learning by watching, you are learning by thinking, you're learning by feeling the food, and you're also actively involved. So there is an active experimentation, experience, conceptualization, and reflective observation. Then, of course, our very conventional way of teaching, based using the PPTs, that is a lecture method was used. Now, lecture method is basically again based on a Kaunin's classroom management theory, where there is a momentum, where there is a focus, where there is smoothness or a flow of a session which goes on. And of course, there is an overlap which happens when again and again we are having those sessions and we are with the people or with our trainer or with our teacher. So these were the basic frameworks that we used for designing the nutrition module. So I will not go into the details of this too much. Basically, the food groups or the nutrients, these were included in the form of clips, and most engaging format we selected. For this also, we had consulted the adolescents that what do they find most interesting. So many of them mentioned about a sports match, which they felt was very engaging for them. So we use this for the animation clip as well. And then, of course, we had the audio and the voice recording done, and animatics and was used, a software was used. For this, we took a help of an animation expert. So this was not completely done by us. We only developed the content for this. Then the content selection for the interactive quiz, this was mainly, as I said, was based on the Kaun Banega Crorepati, a popular television quiz, which is based on the general knowledge quiz. And we selected 12 questions and an audio recording was used from a popular format. And we synchronized that again with the animation, and the duration was decided. Now, nutrition knowledge, once we implemented our module on them, the nutrition knowledge and the awareness was again checked after 1 month after administration of the questionnaire. So in pre-test, they had obtained a certain score. Then we gave this intervention, and then in the post-test, again, we checked how much knowledge is there. And this knowledge we checked after a month or so, because we wanted to also see the impact of whether that knowledge gets retained. So the difference in the nutrition knowledge score was then assessed, and the preference for the education aids was also asked to them on a Likert scale, which is between 1 to 5, that is from best to worst. And the preference and the liking for the intervention tool after the intervention was also assessed. So we had decided based on their liking, we developed the interventions, and then we imparted that. Then we also checked the significance of a pre and post test statistically. And later on, we also conducted an extension activity where we circulated the nutrition activity booklets to all the teachers and all the children. So this was the age, the mean age was 13 with a standard deviation of 0.5 years. And the children belong to the upper middle income group here. And we also observed that the mean scores in the pre-test were 9.9, and then the mean scores later on improved to 17.50, which was significant. And the gain in knowledge score was again 7.57. So this is even the Wilcoxon sign rank test that also revealed a significant difference in the pre and the post test. As you can see here, we have shown the pictures of the nutrition module here, where we have the recipe demonstration. We have these recipes. We had developed this animation short clip, which is on fat to fit. And then we had Kaun Banega Nutri King or Nutri Queen. This was imparted to adolescents. Now, apart from that, there were other few glimpses also, which I'm showing, where the edutainment aspect has been used to create food safety education. As you can see here, we have a combination of a rap, puppetry, and dance for showing safe food handling practices. This was again done in one of the food shows where we used edutainment with the help of our students. Now you can see here, this is a street play on food safety mistakes which are done. On my right side, you will see the utensil and the equipment sanitation, which has been shown in the form of a skit in Hindi. And then this is again one snakes and ladder game, which we created, which is again in Hindi on the food safety. So this has now even been published in the Purna Brahma magazine, which is on food safety. These are again few of the glimpses. Now these are basically the children from the NGO of Swaroop Vardhini, where these children are enrolled and they get educated there. So with the help of our students, again, we had conducted this nutrition education activities. You can see here stamp game. And this is not just a stamp where, you know, the children are happy to get the stamp, but they even, as you can see on the left, this beautiful, sweet little girl who has actually drawn this stamp. And then she also is getting educated on what all are the benefits, how much she should be consuming. And even there is a note for her parent at the back, where the parent would be involved again for the further nutrition counseling. You can see again on the left-hand side, the importance of hand washing techniques, which are given by WHO. The steps are demonstrated through a peppy dance, which has been done by our students. And here these children are again enjoying playing, and also they are practicing. This is again a fruit and vegetable game quiz, which is being played again with the children, as you are observing here. Now, this is the activity which I was talking of, where, you know, how we can use a matrix so as to have our educational plan design. So we can design our own educational lesson plan for edutainment in this matrix format. First of all, we have to write our specific objectives for the session, that we want to create an awareness on exactly what. We have to identify our learning domains and the level for each of these objectives. We have to write down the theory-based strategy to address each objective, and also create an educational activity which will be more meaningful, interesting, and appropriate as per the teaching level, and also as per your specific operational strategy which you use for the children. Then we have to give a sequence of these activities, how exactly we would be going ahead with that. We have to go back to the design matrix, and we have to identify now all these strategies and activities which we have to conduct in a sequence, and we have to label these activities. See, whenever we are conducting a session for children, it is basically with the purpose to gain their attention, first of all. So A, or attention, plays a very important role, to present a stimulus to them so that they get inspired. So S is again an important aspect. And then, of course, provide guidance on conducting or on developing those skills. And at last, we apply and we close the session. So ASGC is something which is very, very important whatever activities we have designed, we will need to label this. Let us see this with the help of an example here. Now, this is teaching eating rainbow of colors, fruits and vegetables. Now, this is a strategy, and you will see here that we have the mediators such as food and nutrition related knowledge. That is a mediator here, and we have a specific educational objective here, like reason for eating fruit and vegetable, nutrient contents, which we would be talking about of fruit and vegetable, and of course the serving size. So this is basically serving size or the portions. These are our specific educational objectives, and we have a level here: comprehension, evaluation, and comprehension, as you will see here. So our strategy or educational content is, we will need to review the reasons for eating the variety, why these key nutrients needs to be consumed, what are the health benefits of that, why there is a need to add a variety. So here we are understanding or we are comprehending this. Then we have to show the commonly consumed energy dense snacks. So here again we are evaluating the consumption pattern. And then of course comprehension, where there is a worksheet given for students to calculate and compare, say, the fats and the vitamin C content, or we can have a group discussion done on understanding why exactly we need to look into the nutrient contents. Now, of course, for the preschoolers, we can just simply talk about whether the food is high or low in fat or sugar, or or how it is good for health or bad for health. But as their level increases, subsequently, we will have to include certain pointers which are more as per their comprehension, or as per their understanding, or as per their level. Now, look at these mediators here. You will see the foods and nutrition related skills. Now, if you want to develop, you will have to describe how fruit and vegetable can be used in meals and snacks, prepare simple meals also using fruit and vegetable, and also we can see what is their satisfaction level in trying new fruits and vegetables. So what level we are here? Application and also valuing. Valuing means we are giving them a value addition to the existing things that they are already learning. So providing exciting cooking experience, then providing the food skills, preparing these tips on how we can use the fruit and vegetables in the meals and snacks. Then our next mediator, as you can see, is goal setting. So we need to have very specific goals set. To eat more fruit and vegetable, we can have an action plan where during the week, how do you plan to eat various fruits and vegetables? Again, it has an application, it has a value. So when we say application, it is teaching skills in goal setting and in developing these action plans. When we say value, we are again giving them a worksheet for the action plan to eat all the colors during the week. So you will see that there is this kind of an educational matrix. If we prepare, we will know that we are at what level, what kind of activities we are having, what are our specific educational objectives, and our mediators. Mediators are basically what are your aims rather. Then self-regulation skills. Now, what would be our objectives here? To appreciate the importance of recognizing hunger and satiety cues during a busy day. So we can again develop a plan to incorporate fruit and vegetable, because that is our primary objective of developing this educational matrix. To satisfy hunger when it occurs and follow that plan during the busy day. So again, the levels which you observe here are valuing, synthesis, and organization. So if you look at what exactly are we following here, the goal setting and the self-monitoring is happening. Activities also we are teaching here to students where they can easily identify the hunger, the mood, the cues for food intake. And we are also giving them opportunities for the feedback, rewards, and new goals. So this way, if we are developing this educational matrix, this would be very, very useful when we are designing a nutrition education activity, or when we have any aim of pursuing such activities. Now, this is one activity you can do at your pace because it will take time. We can write a narrative educational plan, which is based on your design matrix that you will actually use to deliver your session. If I can, Ms. Anusha, just take a brief feedback on what kind of educational plan for nutrition awareness would the audience would like to develop. Anyone, anybody who can just give me an answer to this? Any specific, I had given this example of fruit and vegetable consumption. Say I'm promoting the fruit and vegetable consumption in my school. So like that, anything specific, any aim which is very specific in your mind? Okay, no problem. You can take your time and we will go ahead. Now, as I talk about developing of this educational matrix, a very, very important thing we need to consider is the teaching which is based on the learning styles. Now, when we are talking about the learning styles, it is based on the Kolb's experiential learning model. So we are engaging them in an activity. We are also observing the experiences that they are getting. We are actively involving them in the experimentation, and we are gaining knowledge from the skills which are there, which you get from that particular experience of doing an activity. Now we have these categories such as the imaginative learners, analytic learners, common sense learners, and the dynamic learners. Now, of course, if there are any psychologists who are there in this session, or people who are learning psychology, they can better talk about this, and they can also guide us on how we incorporate this into the nutrition plan. So I'm just sharing one interesting table here, which is talking about the learner type, which is talking about the focus and the kind of activities which you can do. So identification of a learner or the type of learner can be done with the help of a psychologist who can help us identify these learners. And then once we have identified these learners, as you can see here, the imaginative learners, they are basically looking for a very concrete experience which they would like to imagine or create. So the focus is basically of an imaginative learning on feeling the things or sensing. And the aim here is motivation of the learner primarily, because these are imaginative learners. So they will basically learn through demonstrations or through brainstorming where they are interactively involved, or through games, or through word webbings, or through hook questions. There are analytic learners. Now, these analytic learners, these are basically analyzing or critically analyzing the experience. They are also analyzing the blanket concepts of anything which they are learning. So their focus here is on watching or reflecting, and they are assisting the learners to gain knowledge by introducing needed contents. Now here again, the aim of the analytic learners are to facilitate ability to take action. Now again, the debates or discussions or journal clubs, because journal clubs are primarily critically evaluating research which goes on, or summary discussions or readings. So for them, for such learners, these would be the best kind of tools which you can use for educating them. Then there are common sense learners. When we are talking about, they are developing the abstract concepts. They are logical thinkers. They are also practicing the skills which are given to them. So their focus is primarily on thinking, and this would assist learners to examine how they can apply whatever they have learned. Now, graphs, charts, drawings, case studies, or writing activities, or mind maps or worksheets, they work very well with these type of learners. Dynamic learners, as you can see, dynamic learners are, they are practicing, and they are also adding something of their own. They are very innovative, and they are also looking at the application for the usefulness of whatever activities that they are doing. Now, the aim of this kind of activity or the focus would be to challenge the group so as to keep them motivated. So again, a lot of hands-on activities or event management or action plans or new product development or cooking clubs or managing such clubs or podcast or puzzles or skits or simulations. These work very well with the dynamic learners. Now, I will not say that each person is only a one type of a learner. However, there is a combination which we observe in students. So the activity again, which maybe you all can do at your pace and identify the learning styles of your students, and you can plan different set of activities to teach the topic on principles of nutrition. So when I say principles of nutrition, you can teach them depending upon their learning styles, what all types of nutrients are there, what is the meaning of nutrition, what is the meaning of balanced diet, and what is the function of food as well. So you can just decide on very basic things such as food groups, the functions of these food groups, then the functions of nutrients, and then based on their learning styles, then you can just plan these activities based on the earlier table which I shared. Now this table is basically taken from a book written by Contento, which is on nutrition education and counseling. So what do we conclude basically from the kind of research study, a small pilot study that we conducted? We found that the use of this media mix for nutrition education, it serves as a very innovative tool, especially to address the first step towards the behavior change communication. So if we want to see the behavior change communication, the very important step is first of all to educate and make people aware about the concepts. Also, we need to use Edutainment as a media mix package for creating awareness and also incorporating this into the nutrition curriculum, into the school curriculum. However, whether we can use Edutainment as a standalone tool is still a question. So we need further studies. We can see the impact of, can we use Edutainment with the existing curriculum, or we need to refine that or use it as a complementary curriculum, is something which we need to study and see its impact. Because right now there are inadequate studies which are showing any dietary behavior change even after the acquisition of nutrition knowledge. So I may have the knowledge, but it may not get, you may not see that in my behavior. So the students may actually be getting full marks when we are taking their post-test, but that doesn't mean that they will stop eating the junk foods. So the behavior change is something for which we need furthermore studies. We also need to target the behavior change communication by involving various theoretical frameworks such as the participatory learning or ethnographic edutainment with focus group discussions or in-depth interviews related with the nutrition messages. And also we need to have the education intervention, which is very, very effective apart from the curriculum which is being offered. So we recommend the train the trainer programs for imparting this nutrition education to teachers. So this is our recommendation that for teachers, we need to have these TOT programs where the teachers also identify what all are the barriers, what all are the facilitators when they are talking about the nutrition curriculum delivery. I also want to emphasize here, especially the study which we conducted in India on doing the quantitative appraisal of the contents which are offered in the school syllabus. We found that more focus is on the physical sciences and less focus is on the biological sciences and especially nutrition. So we need to have more such programs where, you know, we are creating awareness or sensitizing or taking cognizance of the fact that we need to incorporate nutrition also into the curriculum. Now, another very important side effect of incorporating this nutrition into the curriculum is that we all teachers, of course, benefit when we are teaching about nutrition, because then we are studying this subject in details. And this is one interesting finding, which is by Healthy Eating org, which is talking about Let's Eat Healthy nutrition curriculum, which has been followed. So these are the results from Let's Eat Healthy K-12 educational survey, which was conducted in 2021. They found that the teachers improved their food choices after teaching nutrition lessons. So 90% increased food and vegetable intake, which is amazing. 33% they followed more nutritious eating pattern. 49% they consumed less sugar sweetened beverages, and 16% increased their meat and dairy food consumption. So this program basically aimed to increase the student nutrition related knowledge. And while doing so, of course, because they were done by the teachers who are the trainers, the teachers as well benefited by this program. At last, I would like to mention that when I spoke about the social cognitive theory, which is based on the observational learning, this is a quote by Albert Bandura, which says that in social cognitive theory, the perceived self-efficacy results from diverse sources of information, which are conveyed vicariously and through social evaluation, as well as through direct experience. So this actually summarizes that we need to have various components for educating about nutrition, and entertainment education, which is also proposed by Albert Bandura, is one of a very effective strategy for nutrition promotion and nutrition literacy. So these are my references. So the tables which you saw were taken from these very good books which are on nutrition education. And these are my other references. And at last, my many thanks to the entire Education Influence team. My special thanks to Mr. Gavin and Ms. Anusha. You have been really very supportive, and congratulations to you all for bringing the education fraternity together. I would like to thank all the participants for the patient listening, and my special mention to all my students who contributed in edutainment or making the tools of edutainment. Thank you so much.
Session. Thank you for sharing your interdisciplinary approach by connecting nutrition with education. That was amazing. Thank you so much. And we have love from all over the world pouring in for you. Anupa Nagnagan writes, this is brilliant. To totally agree that nutrition is so important. And Otima shares, can we get few animation clips? And I do have a questions for you too.
Yes.
I'll get to that later. Jyoti Gupta writes, any samples of how to have a MYP unit around it?
Samples of
MYP. Hi Jyoti, if you are still online, unfortunately she is. Hi Jyoti, if you could just unmute yourself.
Yeah.
And yeah, thank you.
Yeah, because ours is an MYP IB school. So I was just thinking if you have a unit planner which incorporates all nutrition literacy into the unit. Do you have any? Because I believe it's there in CBSE. So I have been out of touch of the CBSE syllabus. So I'm dealing more with the MYP unit planner in case you have any sample. Thank you.
Okay. Definitely, I can share maybe whatever content I have of the unit planning with you, and if that could be useful to you. But in our university, especially, we have not done any collaborative work on that, but definitely we would like to go ahead with some.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Radhika.
Thank
And yeah, thank you, Dr. Radhika. And thank you, Jyoti, for your amazing question. And we do have another attendee here saying, Sunena Pandey saying, Nukat Natak is the best way to spread awareness regarding any issue in middle school. And
absolutely, yes. So I would like to share here, we have conducted around 3-4 Nukkad Nataks in various labor camp schools also. And they have been found very successful. I don't have the recording, sorry, of those because those are confidential. But those have been really appreciated and they really work, especially when we are talking about taboos or myths. Absolutely, Sunaina ma'am. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Dr. Radhika. We have Emmanuel Apaya writing, hi, doctor, is there a way you are helping in improving food security in other countries, especially among school children?
For no, internationally, I have not really worked, but definitely if we can collaborate on that, and if you need any kind of a help from me, I'm there. If you have to get any inputs on designing the curriculum or getting any kind of nutrition education done in various ways, definitely we can work offline.
Thank you, Dr. Radhika. And Jyoti Gupta, again, questions. I assume Nutak Natak would be something on the lines of a street plays?
Yes, it is. Yes, absolutely.
And Sonia Nagpal says, please share some edutainment clippings, links related to nutritional literacy.
I will be sharing that. Maybe I can share that with Anusha, ma'am, and then of course you can share that with them. Yes, so we have, if you go on, I think I had shared one of the clips on YouTube or on other platform. It is on Fat to Fit, which is on healthy eating for school children. So there is a match which is shown between junk foods and healthy foods. So I'll share that with you, definitely.
Thank you, Dr. Radhika. And Sonia Nagpal questions, how can we connect with Dr. Radhika, please? You can.
I can.
Let me just answer that question very quick. You can quickly.
I'll just start
on educationinfluence.com. And
yes, sure. Please do that.
Yeah, and
thank you so much.
We will be showcasing her recording on our platform as well and sharing all the resources that she provides. And we will emailing you. We will be emailing all of you with the links and details very, very soon. Thank you so much, everybody. And I do have one simple question for you, Dr. Radhika, before we end our session. Nutrition and wellness are essential components that contribute to health, promotional, and preventive dimensions. You mentioned, and this type of curriculum is vital, but the question is, how much? Is it feasible to include nutrition courses as a compulsory component in the basic and secondary school curriculum?
Thank you so much, Anusha ma'am, for asking me this question. How do we incorporate and how much? Now, when we say when you're teaching, I think it has to be in the same lines how you are teaching other subjects. So in the science curriculum, like I was mentioning, the more focus is on the physical sciences or physics or chemistry, or even in biology, we are concentrating on the human physiology or animal physiology or zoology. We need to concentrate on nutrition because that is for our sustenance as well. Now, when I say that we have to incorporate this into the curriculum, it need not be only a science curriculum which has the nutrition subject. Say if I'm even teaching poetry, I'm teaching English, I can have poems which are on fruits and vegetables. I can have mathematics sums which are on, I minus the junk foods and I add the healthy foods. So somewhere it gets registered into my mind. Just like, we have our normal simple sums or additions or divisions. So in that, or, simply like mindful eating, we can have like, I know when I'm solving a maths, when I used to solve a maths sum, there used to be a good case study which was given. This case study itself, which is given, that it could be on nutrition, mindful eating, that, there was a boy who was eating very hurriedly. And then he suddenly the stomach started aching. And then there was a boy who was eating mindfully and he did not have any mobile or anything in his hand. Or, he was just away from any games or anything and he was eating with his parents. And then we have the main sum or the problem which is there, which the child has to solve. That creates a good background, I think, to start with. So it can be incorporated, of course, along with the science curriculum. It can go in various other subjects like Hindi or languages, poetry. It can go very well with that. social science, I think food anthropology, in history, what people were eating initially and how it has changed. So even that, if can be told to children, I'm sure they are very eager to learn. And with the best storytellers like you, I think it is going to be even more useful, because I have seen some of your sessions where you were telling a story. So if the story can be a nutrition story, it would be great.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Radhika. Thank you for your inspiring session.